Hi guys, welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at one of the figures from the Vintage Collection line that's been recently reissued as part of an old collection, and that's this character here, Darth Maul. Now, before we look at him properly, we'll take a look at the packaging this one comes in. As you can see, it's the same as the regular Vintage Collection releases, with the exactly the same as it was released initially back in like 2011, 2012 when it originally came out. Except on the back here you have the characters in this wave that are available. These two here I will be giving you a look at as well at some point in the near future. But yeah, it's the front is mainly just the same except for the age logo being updated there. But it's largely the same with the image of Darth Maul from the movies when he's fighting on the Battle of Naboo, when he's fighting Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and then of course on the back, as I said there, just some reissue. It's mainly reissue figures on the back here as well, but there's still some good ones that you can pick up around. And that's kind of the reason how I got this figure, because I missed it first time around, so I was able to get this in the reissue pickup. So I now have him in a super articulated form in the 3 3/4 line, because I've never actually had this version of Maul. And I think this is a good figure, but it also has a bit of a downside at the same time. This mainly being that why they chose the Phantom Menace reissue line instead of taking giving a brand new Maul, because we've had Maul in the Clone Wars. He appeared in Season 7. He appeared in Rebels, he appeared in Solo. It just surprises me that they chose to go back and do this Phantom Menace one instead of giving us a brand new Maul that we haven't had in figure form before. I just think that would have been better off. So that is a bit of a disadvantage to this, because we've just got to say it's the same Maul for people who don't want to get doubles or anything like that. But for people that missed it first time around, you do have that second chance. So it's got its positive sides and its negative sides, but I kind of really wish they'd done a more different Maul that wasn't the Phantom Menace theme. But yeah, that's my main complaint there. But we get to accessories. We have the binoculars, which he uses when he is on Tatooine, if the camera can focus on them. So yeah, you got the electro binoculars he uses when he gets off the Sith infiltrator in the Junlan Wastes area, searching for the Queen. We also get a lit version of his double-edged lightsaber, and an unlit one, which is hooked onto the belt. It's actually quite hard to keep this one going straight down due to the stomach articulation, so you can't really have it standing straight that way because of that. So you always have to have it at an angle when you pin it onto his belt, because I've tried this like the other way as well. It's hard to, like, you can keep it there, that's as far down as I can get it, so it's kind of sticking out. So I wouldn't display it with this hooked on the belt. If you're going to display it on the shelves, I wouldn't do that. And then of course so yeah, that's a bit of a minor problem with that, but it's not too bad. Then you also get the lit double-edged lightsaber, also is separatable, so you can have it in single blade form as well as double blade form. Because if you remember in the movie, Obi-Wan, he duels Qui-Gon with it in single blade form, and yeah, they fight out with it like that while he's hooded up. And then of course in the Battle of Naboo, Obi-Wan does of course chop the lightsaber in half, and Maul is forced to duel with that on its own, which he uses throughout the Clone Wars as well until Season 7, when I believe he takes Savage Opress's lightsaber and uses that later on because of that. But yeah, so the final part of accessories here is the Sith Robe, which is in two parts. The hood is a separate plastic part, which is easy just to take off like that, and then you can get the full look of Darth Maul's face here, which they've done pretty well to match up from the movie there. It's pretty much the same reissue figure from 2011, 2012, but that is there. I'll just focus on it again. There we go. That's it. That's him with his hood down when he's in his combat mode. And then of course you can take the robe off as well, so that's always the good thing too. So just give me a sec while I take it off, and there we go. And there he is, first off without the lightsaber, with the hood, with the robe off. And they've got him well into detail as well, so they've given him a full big bulk of articulation here, so he's very much posable if you choose to display him without the cloak on. And the little bits of detail they've gone into, like, because you remember in Phantom Menace he's got this sort of silver thing on his glove, on his left glove, so they kept that on, because you sort of notice it when he's about to go out and find the Queen. And he's very much done there. So you can just put the lightsaber back in now. It's be quite a bit of a hold in for that, but I've got it sort of there. So there you go. So you got him there in his format. I'll give you a rundown the articulation. You get the ball jointed neck, ball hinged shoulders and elbows, swivel forearms, ball jointed torso. You get the ball hinged hips, so you can have him doing his kick movements that he usually does when he's fighting Maul and Obi-Wan, as he gives his stunt, as Ray Park does his phenomenal stunt work in the role. The soft goods robe on the lower bit as well is just makes this more worth it, because I've had other Darth Mauls that have has like the hard plastic goods down here at this part here, because that's like the old Phantom Menace release one that I've got, and then I've got some other ones that don't have it at all, so it's a bit of a strange difference there, but it's what I've got. You also get the ball jointed knees and ankles, so that's also a good advantage. So all in all, this is a good Darth Maul figure. I just think it's a shame that they didn't reissue with a new Maul instead of an old one that we've already seen in the Vintage Collection line, especially when we've got ones that haven't got figures yet. Like I said, the one from Rebels or one from Solo would have been more than worthwhile for it. Like, I just think they would have just attracted more attention, especially when their new skins we can have available from all that we haven't got in 3 3/4 inch figure form. And given that there was the Siege of Mandalore arc, there's Ahsoka figures you could have had displayed him and Ahsoka fighting like as they do on Mandalore, or Maul escaping from clone troopers from Order 66. So it's a bit of a shame, but it's also ideal for people who didn't have this one the first time around. So I'm not fully complaining. We'll probably get a Rebels and or Mandalore Maul further down the line. So at least there's that. But it's a good figure to have in the collection. I think it's because I really wanted a super articulated Darth Maul, because I didn't yet have one, and now I have one. And I think it's really good. I'm going to zoom in on it because it's just easier to show like that. So sorry about the camera there. Just fix that. There we go. There we go. So there he is, fully zoomed in there. And you can get a full look at all the different details, like the horns. They've really done up for the Zebrak species that he is. So that's already good. And the markings on his Night Brother tattoos. It'd be ideal if I could get a Savage press in live action form. I'd like it if they did that for a realistic interpretation in the Vintage Collection, because they've done it with Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka and Windu. So it'd be nice if they did this with Savage press, whether it be in the Vintage Collection or the Black Series. I think it'd be great, and have these two just standing next to each other on a shelf. I think that would definitely be worth it. But yeah, that is the Phantom Menace Darth Maul. If you want to, I'll leave a link to the description to where you can get this one. So if you haven't got a super articulated Maul, you can now pick one up for yourself again and see what you think of it. I'll just pause them like that now, because this is a great figure regardless, and it's good to finally have him in a collection when you haven't had one for a while. And because there was also the Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan that have been released over the time as well, so you can display these in their 3-way duel. So that's all really good. So yeah, it's got its ups and its downs. If you've already got this figure, you don't have to worry about it. But if you don't, you've got a chance at getting it. So that's the advantage. But I hope you enjoyed looking at Maul here in his Phantom Menace attire in the Vintage Collection. And I shall have another couple of reviews set to come out very shortly. So do subscribe and hit that notification bell for them. And like this video if you enjoyed it, leave a comment as well. And my Facebook, Twitter and Instagram's links are all down there in the description below. I'll see you next time, guys.